The ab wheel myth: scam or essential? Few tools spark as much debate in the fitness world as the ab wheel. Is it all just a scam, or is it actually one of the most effective core exercises out there? If it works, what makes it work? And if it doesn't, then why not? In this video, we will break down the biomechanics, look at the arguments for and against, and I will also share my personal opinion: who should use it, who shouldn't, when it can actually be effective, and when it's not worth forcing it. And if you do decide to give it a try, I will show you how to perform it correctly and safely, because there are just as many questions about the execution as there are about the tool's very legitimacy. As always, we will cover this topic with our trademark depth, so grab your notebooks, we've got work to do. Behind the ab wheel. At first glance, the ab wheel doesn't look like much. 2 handles, 1 wheel, simple as that. But biomechanically, it's one of the most complex core exercises you can perform. The movement isn't just about rolling forward and back, chasing abs and high five. The ab wheel is actually a full body challenge, a so-called anti-extension exercise. That means your main task is to prevent the torso from overextending while keeping your spine in a controlled neutral position. As you roll forward, your body's natural tendency is for your lower back sag, your spine to arch, and the lumbar region to take over. If you don't have the strength to control it, the load shifts away from your abs onto your lower back. That's why so many people call it a back breaker, and why part of its bad reputation exists. The key is that your abs are firing the entire time. The rectus abdominis, the six-pack, the transverse abdominis, the deep corset-like muscle that stabilizes your trunk, and even the obliques, they work isometrically, which means they don't shorten and lengthen. Like in a crunch, they hold constant tension. And that's much tougher, because you have to stay in control through the whole range of motion. And to zoom in even further, it's not just your abs doing the work here. Shoulder girdle stabilization is just as important. Proper scapular control, keeping them in the right position, is absolutely essential. If you let your shoulders collapse forward and lose stability, the load shifts straight into the shoulder joints. And that's why I always say, the ab wheel isn't just an ab exercise, it's a full body challenge. Your shoulders, arms, back muscles, and even your hip flexors all join the game. And we haven't even talked about the role of the hips yet. As you roll forward, your hips have to extend under control while your abs apply the brakes. It's like pressing the gas and the brake pedals at the same time. Your body wants to shoot forward, but your core commands a stop. That internal tug of war is one of the reasons this exercise demands such a high level of technique. Biomechanically then, the ab wheel is an anti-extension drill, a scapular stabilizer, a core performance enhancer, and a full body movement. No wonder it's one of the toughest challenges out there, and no surprise either that it's so controversial. Where's the problem? Following the roots of the debate. If the ab wheel is this complex and full body demanding, then why does it spark so much division? The answer lies in its deceptive entry point. It looks like a low barrier exercise. Anyone can buy an ab wheel, drop to their knees and start rolling. Woohoo! But the reality, it's one of the hardest core exercises you can do, and it requires serious foundation and control. Most people fail because they don't have the necessary core strength, their scapular stability isn't there, or they can't maintain proper pelvis and spine alignment. The load instantly shifts onto the lower back, which leads to pain, risk of injury, or simply a terrible experience. That's where the back killer label comes from. On the other side of the debate, this is exactly why so many people swear by it. For those who already have the strength and control, the ab wheel is one of the best tests of how well you can brace and stabilize your entire core. There's no middle ground here. You either hold or you collapse. That's why many lifters see it as one of the toughest yet most effective ab strengthening tools out there. So the divide comes down to this. The ab wheel itself isn't necessarily the problem. The real issue is that many people try it at the wrong time with the wrong level of preparation. The technical entry point is much higher than it looks at first glance. That's why so many people love it and swear by it, while the others walk away disappointed or even injured. The takeaway, it's clear. It's not the tool that's at fault, it's who is using it, when and how, who should and who shouldn't use it. The ab wheel is not one of those exercises you can just grab one day and say,
"Alright, from now on, this is how I'm building my abs because I saw the pros doing it."
It's too advanced for that. Who shouldn't? beginners who don't yet have the baseline stability. If your lower back collapses during a plank or you can't hold a controlled plank for 45 to 60 seconds, the ab wheel will do more harm than good. The same goes if you have recurring lower back pain or weak shoulder stability. The risks outweigh the rewards in those cases. Who should use it? The ab wheel is for those who already have solid core strength. If you can hold a proper plank, keep your scapula stable and control your lower back under load, then the ab wheel can be an incredible tool. For athletes, advanced lifters, or anyone looking for a challenge, it adds real value and variety to training. This is the kind of exercise that even if you don't use it all the time, it's worth pulling out once in a while to test yourself. When should you avoid it? If your lower back takes over on every rep, if you don't feel your abs doing the work, or if your body simply can't hold proper form, then it's not worth forcing. With the ab wheel, there is no middle ground. You're either in control or you're headed straight for injury. When does it work best? When you build it up through progression. If you've developed control, body awareness, and stability, and you know how to create tension and brace properly, that's when the ab wheel becomes effective. And this is exactly where most of the confusion comes from. Knowing which exercise to use, when to use it, and how to adapt it to your level. That's why I built Final Form. I poured more than 20 years of experience into it to give everyone a safe entry point so you can avoid injuries, find your own progression path, and keep moving forward with confidence. But training alone isn't the whole picture. Real progress also depends on nutrition. That's why the app includes a full nutritional guide, a recipe collection, and even mental optimization tools. Because over the years, I've seen so many people don't just struggle with workouts, they also battle low self-confidence, lack of support from their environment, or even their own inner doubts. Learning how to handle these challenges is just as important, and I didn't want to leave that out. Final Form is not just a workout app, it's a complete system. If you made the decision, start simple. Try the free workouts first, they are completely free inside the app. And if you feel the power of it, upgrade to premium, just like so many already have, and grow with us. Final Form is available on the App Store and Google Play. Download it now and join the community where training is only the first step. The real change is you. Where it goes wrong and how to do it right. Okay, so far we've covered the background, the biomechanics, we've seen why this exercise is so controversial, and we clarified who it's for and who should avoid it. Now, let's break it down together. The most common mistakes people make with the ab wheel, where the injury risks are hiding, and how to fix them. After that, I will show you how to perform it correctly, I will give you a few solid alternatives, and finally, I will share my personal take and experience with this exercise. The first mistake, letting your lower back sag. This is by far the most common one. As you roll forward, your lower back starts to arch and instantly your lumbar spine takes the load. That's why so many people call the ab wheel a back killer. The second mistake, scapula instability. A lot of people let their shoulders collapse forward, and that instability dumps all the stress into the shoulder joint. The third mistake, too much range too soon. This one's classic. Many people on their very first try go for a full rollout. Their body can't hold the position, they collapse at the end, and the whole purpose of the exercise is lost. Progression for the ab wheel. Even the kneeling version counts as advanced, so it's better to build up step by step. Here's the clear progression and what you should focus on at each stage. First, plank positions. Start with the basic plank. Elbows under your shoulders, pelvis slightly tucked, abs tight, glutes engaged. Don't let your lower back sag, keep your spine neutral. Once that feels solid, move to the shoulder tap plank. From the plank, lift one hand and touch the opposite shoulder, trying not to let your hips rock side to side. This teaches you how to control both your core and your scapula while resisting rotation. Second, stable slide with towel or sliders. Kneel down on a mat or cushion so your knees are comfortable. Place a towel or sliding disc under your palms. This will substitute for the ab wheel. From here, slowly push your hands forward as if you were rolling out, but without the wheel. Make sure the movement doesn't come from your lower back, but from your shoulders while keeping your chest neutral and your pelvis slightly tucked. This is where most people go wrong. Their lower back collapses, the abdominal wall relaxes, and the lumbar spine ends up taking the load instead of the core. To avoid this, actively pull in your abs, squeeze your glutes, and stay in a neutral position throughout. Only slide forward as far as you can keep full control of your core. The moment you feel your lower back starting to sag, stop there. Then exhale slowly as you pull yourself back using your abs and back muscles. At the end of the motion, finish with a slight rounding of the spine as if drawing your belly button toward your spine. One very important detail: don't sit back on your heels on the way back. Keep your thighs close to vertical with your knees, hips and ankles forming roughly a 90-degree angle at the top position. Third, partial range kneeling ab wheel. Once you've mastered the towel slide, you can move on to the wheel. Start in the kneeling position and grip the ab wheel at shoulder width. Before you roll out, set your tension. Abs pulled in, glutes squeezed, pelvis tucked, chest neutral, shoulders stable. From here, roll forward just a few inches. The goal isn't to go for range right away, but to get used to the load and learn to control your trunk. As soon as you feel your lower back trying to take over, stop and pull yourself back under control. On the way back, avoid pulling yourself into your heels. Keep your knees, hips and ankles close to a 90-degree angle at the top. As you return, contract your abs and add the slight rounding. This small contraction is what ensures your abs are really doing the work. The essence of partial reps is progression. Today it may only be a few inches. A few weeks later you will reach halfway and eventually you will build toward the full rollout. Fourth, full kneeling ab wheel rollout. This is the classic version, but make no mistake, it's already an advanced level. You start from a kneeling position, ab wheel in hand. Before you even move, set the same bracing as always. Abs pulled in, glutes engaged, pelvis slightly tilted back, chest neutral, shoulders stable. As you roll forward, constantly check that your spine stays neutral and your lower back doesn't sag. The key here is to let yourself extend slowly while your core actively breaks the movement. At the bottom, your body will be nearly horizontal. And this is where you must hold the strongest contraction in your abs. If your lower back starts to arch, that's your signal you've gone too far. The return phase is the hardest part. Don't jerk yourself back, don't let momentum pull you in. Use the active strength of your abs and back muscles to pull yourself in, and when you reach the top, close the movement with a small squeeze and slight rounding as if you're pulling your belly button toward your spine. And one more time, do not sit back onto your heels. Your knees, hips and ankles should stay close to a 90-degree angle in the top position. That's how you make sure it's really your abs doing the work, not your hips or your lower back. 5. Standing variations. Yes, there are the wall rollouts and even the full standing ab wheel, but honestly, these are extreme levels. The lower back almost inevitably kicks in and the instability is so high that they are not worth including in regular training. Maybe test them once or twice just to see if you can, but long term they add no real value. Alternatives. If you can perform the ab wheel safely yet, if you are not at that level, or if you simply don't like it and it doesn't feel right for you, know this, there are always alternatives. The hollow body hold is one of the best foundations for building core strength. It teaches your abs to stay under constant tension, which is the key element in every other exercise. Plank variations, like the side plank or the alternating arm and leg plank, are excellent for developing core stability and balance. Plus, they don't just work the abs, they engage the shoulders and hips too, making them a full body stability challenge. Leg raises are among the most effective ab exercises, especially for targeting the lower portion. They stabilize the hips and demand brutal control from the core throughout the motion. The TRX rollout is very similar to the ab wheel, but much easier to control. By adjusting the angle, you can fine-tune the difficulty, making it a safer alternative while still getting almost the same benefits. And then there are the basic crunch variations. Often underrated, but if you perform them in a controlled way, they strengthen the rectus abdominis and provide a solid base for all more advanced movements. Personal insight and experience. Honestly, the ab wheel is a good exercise. I would never call it a bad one. The reason it has such a bad reputation is really simple. Most people just do it wrong. Day after day, I see people picking it up because it looks cool and impressive, and they are not wrong about it, but performed correctly. I can hardly recall ever seeing anyone do it properly, and when you look at it that way, it's no surprise that instead of results, many people end up with pain, risk of injury and disappointment. This is not for beginners. The ab wheel is an advanced exercise where you have to learn the technical foundation before you can safely include it. I only use it occasionally myself, always at the end of my training sessions in my ab block when I want variety. For me, it's a mix of challenge, fun, and even therapy, but it's not essential. There are countless other exercises that will get you just as far. The key point is this: don't cling rigidly to anything just because someone told you it's the best. Everything depends on context. Who, when, why, and how you do it. That mindset is what separates smart, conscious training from the black and white thinking most people fall into. So if you reach the level, go ahead and do it. But know that your progress will never depend on a single exercise. It depends on how you approach the whole system. And that's exactly what we always emphasize on this channel: context, awareness, and progression. Now, I'm curious about you. Have you ever used the ab wheel? Did it work for you, or was it more of a disappointment? And after watching this video, did your opinion about it change? Share it in the comments. I really want to hear your experiences. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you won't miss the next episode. And if you want to be sure about your progress, try out the Find and Form app. The entire system was built to clear away the doubts and show you exactly which exercises to choose, how to build your progression safely, and where to start based on your level. Try the free workouts first, and if you feel the impact, upgrade to premium or take advantage of the annual discounted subscription. Download the app from the App Store or Google Play and get started today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Sunday. Until then, remember, training is just the first step. The real change is you.